So, first of all, I would like to thank you for accepting the interview and for giving us your time and your knowledge.
Pleasure is all mine. It's okay.
Thank you. And would you like to start by briefly introducing yourself to the audience? Like, who are you? And a, a brief introducing.
As you know, my name is Asim. So people call me Asim. That is here also and India as well. So my full name is Asim Hussain, and I'm from India. Uh, I belong to a city which is near to the capital city of India, that is New Delhi. So
Great.
my house is around 80 kilometers from there. I'm a BBA, Bachelor's in Business Administration, then Master's in Business Administration, and PhD, majoring in marketing management. So I started my career a long way ago, with a bank in Dubai. So I was a sales officer over there, worked there for 1.5 years. Then I got into academics field and I got a break in Maldives. So I was teaching in Maldives. I was there for around 2.5 years. Then I went to Dubai again to work with the American University out there. And then I got a chance to work in Thailand. Worked in Thailand for 2.5 years. And then I was working in India. And then I came here all the way to Mexico.
Mexico. So you know pretty much all the world.
Yeah, I've worked in almost 6 or 7 countries. Yeah,
Right.
visited more than this.
That's right. So the first question is, what inspired you to, like, how it happened? What inspired you to come specifically to Mexico?
It's a very coincidental thing, it's coincidence. I never planned to come to Mexico. Even Mexico was not in my list.
Yeah.
So after working for many years in different countries, was thinking, okay, I should not work in India because in India the culture is
Yeah.
very different because it's very rigorous, very hard, and most of the places are very far off. So if you are working in India, maybe you need to drive uh, 2 hours or 3 hours a day. Yes. So my university was around 80 kilometers from my house. So going 80 kilometers and coming back 80 kilometers, it was almost 100 kilometers, 190 kilometers. So it very rigorous for me, and I was not able to spare quality time to my family. So this was the problems. The family told me, okay, you should carry on. You have experience, you have degree, you have skills. You should try some other country if you are not happy with your country. That's fine, let's try. So I applied to many university. So the first university was Christ University in New Zealand.
Mm.
I applied there. Then I applied in University of Amsterdam. It was the second university. And one day I was just sitting on LinkedIn and suddenly I saw one advertisement from the human resources that they need marketing professor. So I thought, okay, this is a Spanish country, right? So they speak Spanish. Why do they take English person? Okay, let's apply. So just I applied just, spontaneously without any, thing result or anything. In 3, 4 days, I got a reply. Her name was Fatima. So Fatima replied me that you are talking to the human resource interview and so on. Rest is history. So when I was about to come here, my work was in progress with New Zealand University. I told my family that whichever option comes to me first, I will go for that. So offers, came first in my case. So I chose to come to Mexico actually. And before coming here, I was, studying about Mexico, that how is Mexico things, because the perception in the world, is very different. It's very different. Like people think that it's a country where you will find gun wars, gang wars, or maybe drug dealing or narcos or everything. But as a teacher, I knew it's everywhere in the world because some of the big countries in the world, they just try to give bad names to to inferior countries. Like maybe you have heard a lot about India, that people are, very poor, they are sleeping on streets and this and that. So that is true in that way. For yourself and you experience, you will find that there are many segments society. Some don't have money, some have money, like like in Mexico, and some are business people. So it's everywhere. So I went to a party before I was coming here. So they asked me, you are going to Mexico. They did not know anything about Mexico, but the main thing in their mind was about Colombia. So they said, you are going to Pablo Escobar country. I said, man, that is not Pablo Escobar country. That is from Colombia. This is Mexico.
There's like misconceptions of every country all around the world.
Lot of, even it's very similar to that of India, very similar. Like Guadalajara, it's quite similar to New City. If you go to Mexico City, like it's very similar to New Delhi. There is no difference.
Yeah. What are like the main cultural differences that you have like found between India and Mexico in terms of education?
There are some differences because in India, like society is very conservative. If you go in a town which is from the capital city and which is conservative in terms, you will find schools different for separate for girls and separate for boys. So
Okay.
boys and girl education is separate. In some schools, you will have combined education, right? In girls' schools and colleges, you will have teachers who are either females or males, depending on the right. But in new cities, in big cities like New Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, or even my city, the education is combined, right? Some people in India, they like this education. The parents like this education. On the contrary, there are people who don't like. They say, no, we will not send our girls to a college where boys are also studying and this. It depends on the thinking of that person. Second thing, which is different here, like the society here is very free. You know, boys and girls, they sit in the college, in the university, even in the school, like, and they find a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they start living together and they study also. In India, this is considered not to be a very good thing, actually. Yeah, because I'm not saying that people don't have girlfriends or boyfriends, they do it. But, it is all hidden. It is not public.
Mm.
So these children don't tell to their parents that, yes, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend, but yes, they do. This thing is very conservative in most of the time. Then in terms of like diversity in education, right? So here I believe that diversification is quite how is here when you go in the class to find maybe boy of a farmer, right? A girl of maybe of a businessman, and a boy of maybe of a bureaucrat. So it is economically balanced type of it.
Yeah.
In India, it's new. In India, the high good colleges, the best quality colleges, they have very high fee and all these things. So only rich people go to those colleges. And the poor people go to different colleges, quite cheap in because the scholarships are not very common in just because of the population. Population is 1.4 billion, right? So if everybody is applying for a scholarship, then the government will be bankrupt within
Yeah.
1 year. Yeah, so we focus more on writing,
Okay.
not on typing. Yeah, so most of the colleges and schools they appreciate students who are writing, not typing.
Okay.
So writing is very necessary. Even I remember when I was in school and when I have had these exams, my exams, you will feel pain in your hand after finishing your exam because all the time you are twisting and writing. All the students complain, got very, tight hand. The exam was tough and this and that. And after 2 days, they have another exam. So it's like that. So these are the main differences.
Yeah. Are you trying, like, in your classes, do you try to integrate your ideas, your philosophy, your Eastern philosophy into your Mexican classes? For example, the handwriting thing, are you trying to integrate that?
Yeah, surely I do that. I'm not saying about handwriting because I know that students will not do
Yeah.
that. They don't like to do that at all. But yes, what I tell them, uh, if I give you any assignment and you write it, submit me, I'm not looking for the quantity of your writing, whether you are copying from the internet or from ChatGPT and putting in. But if you are writing by yourself, maybe one line, two line, you will get good grades,
Yeah.
no matter you write. So I just focus that how much you have learned and written, because like degree is just a paper, belongs to university. The knowledge that you get in your mind from a class, from a professor, from a teacher, will be in your mind forever. Nobody can steal that. Of course, it is rigorous. It is rigorous because you have to use your brain. It is better to write two lines instead of full paragraph, copying from somewhere. So it is better to write two lines. So I try to put few things, like tiny things, and like pinch of some Indian education, because Indian education is quite tough. Yes.
And how have you seen, like, the receptivity of the Mexican students towards your teaching style and your ideas from India? Do they accept them? Do they complain?
Actually, it's very hard to say, honestly speaking. But what I say, what I think, that these students, they are very habitual of getting education in Spanish. Sometimes they are very lenient. First teacher, okay, you speak, I'm hearing, I'm listening, okay, fine, it's okay. They don't concentrate. But when I start lecturing in English, most of the students, they try to listen to me very carefully. So I grab their attention actually in that way. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. It happens, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on on the day of the week. Because on Monday, like students are very lethargic because they come after a long break of days. They are not very much attentive. They are very lazy and sleepy. But on Wednesday and later, they are very good, because I have worked in Maldives, worked in Dubai, worked in for short period in them also in India. Found in Thailand also. I found that here these students, they have a very good brain, just like India. They have a very good brain. But the only thing is maybe because their communication is not good, okay? Or maybe, they don't want to write. They don't want to increase their thought.
Mm.
They are just closed, contrived, you can say. So if you want them to expand their knowledge or to come in the main course of this professionalism, you know, right now Mexico is an emerging economy,
Yeah.
and it is expected that in another 10 years, like this will be the only country in this Latin America that will be at par with Canada, America, and USA. It depends, and it depends on the student. If they start their own business, they expand their business, they go in professional courses, they start career in computers, applications, software development, entrepreneurship, then of course the economy can grow up.
So, and what would you say? You are teaching, like, students are learning from you, but have you learned anything from Mexican students, or from Mexico in
Yeah,
general?
yeah, many things. Sometimes I try to speak in Spanish, so they correct me, right? Okay, no, no, teacher, it has to be like that. And from that, and especially when I give them home assignments, that this is the topic, you learn it, read it, we will have class next time on this topic. They really study. They come with a good knowledge. So sometimes I take small chunks of information from them also. Oh, is it true? Really? From where did you read it? So they send me the link. Also, I also learned from them a lot. Because teaching is not like a one-way process, a two-way process. Teacher and student are learning together, then it will be fun. It will be fun.
Yes. So you came here knowing no Spanish, a little bit of Spanish,
Oh, Spanish, I'm not connected at all with this
but,
continent. Oh, Spanish at all.
but you're improving it, right? Are you?
Little bit, like I'm practicing, I'm reading sometimes, even I try to speak, especially when I'm in Uber, I don't know how good I am, but I just try to.
Yeah,
They understand that, okay, you are a foreigner, so they,
yeah,
they neglect, the wrong things and everything.
yeah.
Okay, it's not very difficult. Actually, the grammar of Spanish is similar to Hindi grammar. It's
Okay.
similar. Yeah, for example, ¿qué tal? Right? ¿Qué tal? In Hindi, we say ¿क्या हाल? Sounds very similar.
Yeah, and related with that language topic, I heard a story that you were walking one day and you were robbed. Is that true?
Ah, yes, because when I came here in the beginning, one day it was night around 9 o'clock something, 9 p.m. So I used to walk every day actually from the park that is near to this, what is that? In this Universidad. There's a big park.
Yeah.
Was crossing that. Suddenly one person came to me. It was dark. He was wearing a cap. Something was in his hand. I don't remember what was that because it was dark and I was not concentrating on it. Maybe it's a knife, maybe a pistol or something. He asked me, like, I want dinero. I want dinero. So I said, disculpa, sin dinero. No tengo dinero. No tengo dinero. So at that time, I had some cigarillos, cigarettes. So I said, like, you want cigarette? Then he saw my face, he saw cigarette, he grabbed the packet and went away. So very scared actually that time. Actually, I was carrying computer in my bag. After that, I decided, man, I'm not going to walk it. Maybe I will buy a car or something because walking is dangerous.
Yeah. But I mean, not speaking Spanish kind of save you from
Yes, because no, there are two things. Communication language can be a gift to you and it can be a curse to you.
yeah.
Both things are there. If you speak more, you could be in a problem. But if you speak less, maybe you can come out of the problem.
Yeah.
Happens. Because so in that way it happens. India also, if you speak more, you try to, like explain more and more and justify yourself. Maybe you will come into a
Yeah.
speak less, speak good, and try to like control situation with your gestures, with your body language, with your expressions. People understand.
After everything that happened, like how's the impact of the cultural differences between Mexico and India?
Culture is different. It is little different. Because culture here is for example, kissing. Generally when you meet some people, you either shake hand, okay, or you kiss a girl. In
Yeah.
India it's different. Someone is very close to you, like your girlfriend or your friend or your sister or cousin, anybody. So you kiss her, fine. But at the same time, kiss is for both genders. I meet my, cousin who are male. If I meet my friends who are boys, so I also kiss them and they also kiss me. It is there for both genders. So when I first came here, there was a colleague of mine. I met him, I kissed him on both cheeks. So he got scared. He thought that maybe I'm kind of homosexual or what.
Yeah.
Then I realized, okay, it's not common here because okay, boys and girls can do, but I think man and man cannot do. In the beginning, it's very tough learning the, like people, their habits, their likes and dislikes. It was difficult. Now I don't feel any difference. Now you can say I'm in the equilibrium, in a balanced.
Okay. So in India, the because